Welcome to the All Things Fun Vidcast. We're talking about new comics that released today, Wednesday, September 7th, 2011. My name's Ed Evans. I'm here with your co-hosts, Allison Eckel and Glenn Walker. So it's another big week here. It's the first week of new...
Yo, 52 in
the first you're in it now, no getting back out.
Yep.
DC and you.
It's here.
Yep.
It's here.
Action number one.
All right, so let's talk about. We're going to break it.
It's like 1938 all over again.
Yes.
Well, with the recession, yes, that is absolutely true. So what do we have? Okay.
there
Wow,
is.
she's smelling it. All right.
Formulating action comics.
It's
Grant
the
Morrison.
dude. T-shirt. Cape.
T-shirt.
It's a towel
Boots.
wrapped around his neck.
It's every 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Every 6-year-old, 8-year-old, and
It's missing the
27-year-old.
missing the swimming goggles though.
Well, yeah. So let's remember that the whole point of the New 52 is that new readers can jump on, so you can pick up these number ones and figure out what's going on. Now they did retool some of the classic characters. So this book, unlike last week's Justice League number 1, which was rockin', by the way,
Yes.
so good. We're going to talk about it again.
Justice League number 1, buy it.
Yes,
now.
yes.
So good. Buy it while you can.
Pass
First
it
printing
around
is
your
out of
house.
stock, but we still have it. All Things Fun, but not for long.
They did tunes.
Do they still
And
have it
the
on the
tunes.
rack tunes?
They do still have it on the rack of tunes. Our partner store, we have a rack, an All Things Fun comic rack with tunes rack. That's very good.
Get your music and your comics in the
and
same
you won't
place.
get stretched.
That's right. That's very nice. And so yes, you can get them at Tunes in Marlton, number 73. That's an All Things Fun comic rack there as well. But back to action. So this is the beginning of the new Superman in the DC universe.
Now, what I thought I would see was some timeline
Well, it's 5 years
explanation.
ago.
No. Justice League 1 was 5 years ago.
5.5 years ago.
But
Well-
we don't. It doesn't give us any grounding
No.
to say why is he in a T-shirt rather than
No.
the name and collar
And,
armor.
and remember, that's still the big secret. While DC said they had a timeline and they reveal pieces, it's not their plan to necessarily tell you where things fall in the timeline. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
How very Grant Morrison of that.
Yes.
I was just going to say, it is Grant Morrison.
Oh yes, and by the way, he wrote this one.
And some very nice Rags Morales art.
Yeah,
I mean, it felt...
I like the art.
You know, I'm not invested in Superman the way I was invested in Justice League. You know, as a kid, Justice League was the comic that got me into comics. So for whatever reason, I have an emotional link to the Justice League. And not so much with Superman by himself, although some folks love Superman.
This is a different Superman. This is very different. This feels a little more like we were talking a little more like Golden Age Superman.
It's like the emo Golden Age Superman.
This is the font here is very 30s.
It almost felt to me like Spider-Man meets Superman. Like I felt like I was reading about Peter Parker.
There was a little bit of that. Now, I'll admit I haven't really read Superman comics. I've read one, Amazing Superman, Spider-Man comics. I read The Prelude to Spider Island. That was my first one. But, okay, I've seen the Sam Raimi movie, and I know a lot of you will cringe. I know, I'm sorry. But there was a bit of that in there where there's one face of him where he's a public menace, and then the people really like him because he's saving people.
Yep.
And there's an element of that in here.
It's clearly an attempt to make Superman more accessible, because that was always the big complaint, that Superman, you know, you had to slam the planet into him for there to be an issue.
Right, he's not this godlike power.
Right.
He bleeds in this
Yes,
one.
he bleeds, and he's a
Oh,
regular
it takes a lot.
person. Right. But he has a life outside of it. He doesn't have the perfect marriage, and he's not.
Right,
he's
his
a
rent is
kid.
due.
Right, his rent is due, and yeah, so it was a neat take, and definitely something I could see people who are not comics fans getting into. You know, that maybe wouldn't say, oh, this feels a little bit like Spider-Man. Well, if you haven't read Spider-Man, you would know that. You'd be like, oh, this is interesting.
Right.
You know, this is a different take.
There's a little Batman-ness to it where he kind of the police and all are mad at him because he's a vigilante. He's taking the law into his own hands, and he's kind of going, whatever. Here's your bad guy. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And the police are like, wait, that's not the way we do it. There are laws. You have to follow procedure. And he's like, I did your job for you. So there's a little bit of a tone that modern Superman fans who have been reading Superman for at least 20, 30 years and are used to that Superman might go, wait, he's a moral rock. He doesn't, you know, if he jaywalks, he'll turn himself in.
Yeah, he is not.
This is not that
Boy Scout.
Superman, no.
But we're showing the formation of him in the Boy Scout.
That's
Maybe.
right. That's right.
Hopefully. I gotta say, I like Luthor and General Lane in this.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a neat little look.
Not so sure
That gave more
about Jimmy and Lois
dimensionality.
yet, but
Yeah.
I like Lane and Luthor.
Jimmy and Lois didn't have a lot to do. They're there, but they don't have a lot to do. They're in peril. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
So anyway.
So action number 1.
Yeah,
the new
there's
Superman. Check it
It's
out.
interesting. Well, let's see where it goes.
And already sold out.
Detective number 1. First one we've seen in 75 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's Batcave,
Batman,
beginning.
Joker. Written and drawn
Right,
by
I'm gonna
Tony
come in.
Daniel.
Yep.
And actually, I'm not a fan of Tony Daniel's art, but
I liked it.
inks by Ryan Wing, who seems to make a hell of a difference. I really, really like the art in this.
It's bloody though.
It's dark.
It's not for the kids.
No, there were several segments that I had to just like. I'm sure what they're saying is important, but I'm going to turn the page and I'll just figure it out later because I can't look at this anymore.
Well,
And then the last page, I didn't even read how the
last
story
page.
ends because the image I had to just put it down.
Wow.
Well,
I don't even know.
It's the dark Batman. It's the one thing I keep hearing from folks who are signing for stuff. Oh, I want a dark Batman. I want a dark Batman. Well, here it is. This
It's
is
your
a
dark Batman.
Dark Batman for you. And again, there's not as much of a continuity change with this Batman. It's not the same as Superman, where it's a new character, you're going to recognize him. This is just an entry point. Most of Batman's story is still there.
Well, I mean, let's go over again. It's Batman, Green Lantern, and Legion, except for their inspiration, are pretty much intact. Everything else is rebooted.
Well, there might be little tweaks.
Yeah, everything's got little tweaks, and
You've got hologram and the Batcave,
Right.
like the little tweaks.
yeah, and everything. Some of them are more dramatic than others.
Yeah.
Say, Batgirl, and
Which is also out this week.
Yeah.
And let's go with that girl.
All right.
Segue.
Jump the shark.
Gail Simone Goodness.
So now this was.
There you go.
Yeah, now it was Gail Simone Goodness. Great character. It's
Yeah.
nice to see Barbara back.
Nice new costume.
Nice new costume. They had a lot of backstory to contend with, and they did. Now I have to admit, I'm not sure because essentially you got a sentence. I go better. But,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much we want to reveal. I don't want to reveal too much on camera.
You know what? The story, the narrative, and the villain, the mirror,
Yeah.
are so engaging that I didn't mind that we didn't get that extra backstory.
Agreed.
There's an
Yeah.
element to the backstory I think fans might rebel against. That we've lost an element of her backstory, I think.
Well, we don't know
Seems.
that.
It seems.
We just know that. We just know a amount of time has passed, and they tell us. 3
Yeah,
years.
and they tell us
But
what
they don't.
she did with that amount of time, and there's not really a way she could have done that thing we've lost.
Maybe.
She said it.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it while
Okay.
we're talking. I'm going to find it in between these
There you
scenes,
go.
maybe.
All right.
So yeah, I'm a little upset if we actually have lost that element in her backstory. But you're right. I did enjoy the narrative. I think it was a good story. And we've done like 2 books, and we have 3 books, and we have 3
Well,
minutes left.
speaking of bats,
Yep.
We also have
Batwing.
Batwing.
Judd Winnick. Batwing is awesome.
He's our
For
African
me,
Batman.
Biggest
This is-
surprise of the week for me.
This is the prize
Yep.
for me. This one was really, really very
That's good to hear because I think this is one that a lot of people are going to overlook and say, "Nah, do I need it?"
Yeah.
Great painted art by Ben Oliver. Colors by Brian Reber. This is awesome. Let's take a look at some of the stuff here.
Yep.
It really is good.
Great story.
Intriguing, menacing villain again, like Batgirl.
Yeah.
And Batwing didn't really get on my radar when he appeared before in Batman Inc.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is a great book.
Yeah.
Recommended.
Very well done. That's one of my pick of the week.
awesome.
What else we have?
We also
here?
have some team books. We have Stormwatch #1, written by Paul Cornell,
Which is the linchpin.
and Miguel
Of the DC.
Sepulveda.
Yes.
Art.
Paul Cornell. And this is the book that DCU is about right now. This is my other pick of the DC 52.
It just.
It's
Yeah.
pretty freaky. Lots of superhero action. It resets the Authority and the Justice League universes.
I'm
And
not
it's
familiar with
nice.
them, so this is all new to me.
And if you're not familiar with them, it familiarizes you with them on a ground level.
Right.
Paul Cornell is reason enough for me to buy it. So
Good place to jump.
we have Justice League International, which in the past has always been a bit irreverent, a bit funny. They're second tier kind of thing. So we have Booster Gold, who was one of the only people who realized something was wonky at Flashpoint. Do they ever address that?
I did not notice that.
They do not address that.
Okay.
But it is funny, a lot of personality clashes, very
And
well
no
done.
blood.
No
Yay.
blood. Yeah, and I'm not giving
blood.
anything away, but Booster's invited to the Justice League International. He gets there and finds out it's Justice League International, not Justice League. So he's very disappointed that he's not on the big boys.
You can say that.
Then there's Men of
Oh,
War.
all right.
No,
we're out
going
of
for it.
time.
No, we're going to go for it.
Okay.
Men of War rocks.
Men of War.
It's good.
A war comic.
New Sergeant Rock, contemporary, kind of has a Call of Duty kind of feel.
Yep.
There's even a superhero in it, mystery hero that we don't know who it is.
Yep.
And it's a very good war book, and it's a very good story, which works for today's times.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked it a lot.
It felt like a classic World War II war comic, except updated in Afghanistan and other unknown areas. It was very cool, very well done.
Excellent.
Great.
All right. And tell you what then, stay right tuned. There's so many more books we got to talk about, so stay right there. We'll be right back with more of the All Things Fun Vidcast right after this.